Dr. Mjapilo, good morning and thank you very much for your time.
Morning, Dan.
Yeah, I guess first you were a mother before you were a professional, before you were anything else. And but being a medical professional also has assisted you to understand this condition. But it must have been very tough because many of us do not understand autism.
That is so correct. It is not clearly understood in families, health professionals, communities, governments as well.
Now, you as a family, I mean, when did you become aware, for this to start with the family side, that your son was autistic?
The time that he was diagnosed was only 12 years old. But before that, it was a journey of 1,000 miles. It was turbulent in the family because we didn't know.
What did you think was wrong with him? Just give us some ideas. What did you think was going on?
First of all, this is a child who will rock. Used to rock. Earlier stages when we didn't know what was happening, used to rock because that's one of the salient characteristics of autism. They rock because they are anxious about the environment. The stimuli is too much. That's how they try to compensate. This is a child who, at some stage, jumped from the balcony because he couldn't find his yellow pants. We must remember that autism has got other comorbid, that is other conditions that exist with it. Now in this case, it's obsessed with these yellow trousers and they will wear it from day in and day out.
And I've heard that many times when they're children, like in the case of your son, that there'll be misdiagnosis. For instance, how they're dealing with the school. Sometimes they could be saying to be suffering from something different than really autism. Did it happen in your case?
That is so correct because he was diagnosed with attention, ADHD. And as a medical doctor, I looked and I just thought that there's no hyperactivity here. Okay, attention deficit, yes, is one of the comorbid conditions, associated conditions that happen, but it's not the principal diagnosis. And with time, I had to do my own research.
Now, you're doing your own research, but you're a medical professional. You've taken to some doctors. How did they think about you and your efforts at the time?
Okay, then I must tell you that I've been to 3 psychiatrists who we took Kopano because we realized that something was not right. And we took Kopano and, I was branded as a neurotic mother because I'm a medical doctor. I'm reading too much into the condition of the child.
And you were not giving up, obviously. You wanted to know what is wrong with Kopano.
No, I was not prepared to give up because I knew as a medical that something was not right. And that is why I said, you can't diagnose your own child. You have to, to look for help.
Now, you said when he was 12, then Kopano was then diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
And did that then make it any easier for you now to manage? Did that kind of diagnosis then empower you as a family to be able to know exactly how to assist him?
I can tell you that knowledge is power. The minute that day when Kopano was diagnosed, we started, knowing about the condition because it was a practical side where we were seeing it, and it was also the research side and the management, the environment, the diet, and the siblings. We must not forget the siblings who took a beating during this journey. You see, I remember at some stage because the older sister, who is a doctor herself as well, was used to do homework with him, but it takes more than almost 4 hours more than doing a homework with a normal child. And because we didn't understand, he was giving too much information. And at some stage, she said she got 45 scratches in 10 days.
How widespread from your experience now? I mean, you're a parent, of course, your mother, and then you're a doctor. You've done research, as you said, to try and assist Kopano, who's now much older. I guess he's in his 30s now?
32 years.
He's 32 years old now.
Yes.
I mean, what did you find out? How widespread is autism in our country today? What did you become aware of?
In the past, it used to be secret service. It was unknown, but it was there. But I can tell you now, the prevalence in South Africa is 1 in 110 children in South Africa are living in the autism spectrum.
And I would guess they're both in urban and rural areas.
urban and rural areas.
And the challenge will be harder for people and parents in rural areas because there'll be all kinds of stigmas, I guess, or people come up with all kinds of explanation to say, why is the child behaving like this?
Absolutely, Dan. For instance, the challenge is in the townships, in the rural villages of our country. For instance, in some of the areas, they will be labeled as bewitched. Sometimes when they are taken to certain churches, they will say that they are demon possessed because they are different but not deficient.
Now, today is World Autism Awareness Day. Are we doing enough as a country, society, to make people really aware? I mean, from what you're saying, people are still ignorant about this condition.
We to a certain extent, but it is not enough. I can tell you that it is not enough because you remember last year we had a young girl who went missing and was found dead in a river in Mamelodi. And you know why I'm saying that we are not doing enough? What did the police say when it was recorded? That we have got a child with a girl with autism missing. They said you only report missing after 24 hours. But you have to remember.
So our cops themselves don't understand.
That is the government.
The society is not understanding. So more still needs to be done.
More things need to be done. When I say government, from policy change and grand awareness. That is the message that we are driving today.
And that's your efforts now going forward. I mean, on behalf of your son and, of course, other children whom we may not know that are suffering from or are living with autism.
Yeah, my take is that today it's an World Autism Awareness Day. And I'm saying that it should not be a day. It should be a month. It should be a year. It should be continuous because the more we stage grand awareness of autism, the more we are going to pick up more and the more we are going to do more as a country.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mujapelo. And all the best to you, and well done on how you've managed to look after Kopana, and all the best for his future as well.
Thank you.
And good luck. Thank you very much. That's a medical professional, but mother first, of course, Dr. Maggie Mujapelo from MediWell Digital.